What is going on, you guys? It's your girl Diana back at you with another YouTube video. Today's video is for my breeders. I'm going to be showing you 3 ways that you can easily spot Ditto out in the Paldea region. And these concepts also apply if you're trying to find Zorua, since both Ditto and Zorua are transformation Pokemon and disguise themselves as not themselves. So if you're interested in how to easily find Ditto, then just keep on watching, and if you're new here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button because it helps you girl out, and give this video a thumbs up if you are a Pokemon fan so we can push it out into the YouTube algorithm so that more Pokemon fans can see it. And if you would like another way to support the channel, please feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. And you don't want to miss your chance to cop one of these cool sweatshirts. I've also linked copies of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in my Amazon storefront if you are still looking for your own copy as well. But let's go ahead and hop into how you can easily find Ditto in Paldea. So you can definitely run into Ditto in Terra Raid battles, which is great, especially if you're looking for 5 or 6 IV Dittos, and also in mass outbreaks. But the 2 places that it's going to spawn the most in the wild are West Province Area 2 and West Province Area 3. So in my opinion, it's easiest if you fast travel over to Medali, which is where the normal type gym is, just because it's in the middle of West Province Area 3. And what I did is I went ahead and set a destination on my map for one of these little foot trails, just because I know that wild Pokemon tend to spawn in large groups along these trails. And of course, Ditto likes to transform into other Pokemon, so if there's a large group of Pokemon, there's bound to be a Ditto. It's also easier to spot a Ditto if there is a large group. I'll tell you why in a second. So the first thing that you want to look out for is any Pokemon that's acting out of character, like this Persian, for example, that is literally completely ignoring me. Usually Persians are super aggressive and tend to charge at you like it's their literal mission in life to make sure that you never see the light of day again. Like this Persian over here that came out of literally nowhere. But the Persian that I ran into earlier was ignoring me, walking away, and literally just not giving me the time of day. It's literally grooming itself. So that's big red flag number 1 that that's actually not a Persian. So I went ahead and interacted with it, and lo and behold, it was indeed a Ditto. So this is one of the most basic ways that you can tell if a Pokemon is a Ditto, is if it's acting out of character compared to the other Pokemon of its species. And that's why it's easiest if you find the Pokemon in large groups, just because if you single out the one that's acting weird compared to the rest of them, then it's probably a Ditto. The same thing also goes for Zorua, by the way. So if you are looking for a Zorua, then same thing. It acts differently than the rest of the Pokemon because it transforms and it doesn't have the same characteristics as the actual Pokemon. So keep an eye out for those 2. Zorua do also spawn in this area, which you'll see on my mini map later on. But you're basically just going to want to walk around and see if any Pokemon act weird, which is definitely a little more time consuming. So if you want a faster way to do it, there is the ZL option, which if you hold down ZL, it literally tells you what Pokemon you're looking at. So for example, this Deerling is literally labeled as a Ditto. I will say that the ZL button doesn't always give me the name of the Pokemon that I'm like looking at. Sometimes it just kind of zooms in on them and doesn't say anything. So maybe that's just user error, but take this method with a grain of salt. The last way that you can find a Ditto is if you do spot a Pokemon that you think looks like it's acting off, is save your game in front of that Pokemon and then go ahead and actually close out the entire game. And when you reopen the game, it should have the Ditto spawn as a Ditto because the game's memory just makes the Pokemon spawn as the Pokemon that it is, rather than whatever Pokemon it transformed into. So as you can see, we have a little Ditto running around and a Fletchinger literally attacking me, but there he is, once again, a little Ditto. And once again, our bird friend, literally wanting all the smoke. But those are the 3 ways that you would, Jesus, all the wild Pokemon are attacking me. But those are the 3 easiest ways that you'll be able to spot a wild Ditto. Just beware of all the wild Pokemon that like to chase you around like the ones that are chasing me. But hopefully you guys found this video helpful and you're now able to breed your perfect Pokemon. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.